know, they got the kind of shot they wanted Arkansas to take, and then he just follows it up and gets a layup.
Kansas just 2 for 9 here in the second half. Dickinson's pass is deflected. Kansas maintains possession. Harris, runner, finally for Harris.
That's not a Bill Self thing for the most part. He does a little bit.
Davis can't shoot through the zone, and the rebound to Harris.
They've played 7 possessions of zone all year.
Budunga at the scorer's table for Kansas. Harris, too easy, and all of a sudden his face is as red as the Arkansas uniforms. That one is picked off by Harris. Harris trying to finish. Yes. Yeah, Wagner.
And that's because he played well in Allen Fieldhouse 5 days ago.
He was a starter earlier in the year for Arizona, but Vasar has really come on. KJ Adams drives, hooks it out. Dajuan Harris Jr.
Oh, they need self-nuts. And KJ Adams immediately comes off the bench. You leave a great shooter open in transition twice.
Dajuan Harris for 6 tonight for a team that ranks 296 in the country in three-point percentage.
Great point, Rossi. They get their points off transition.
And a three. Henry Vasar. And the rebound, Hunter Dickinson for Kansas, his 6th rebound.
I think you got to put pressure on the rim by driving it, because this Arizona team is in a double bonus. Unless it's an open 3, get to the rim.
The floater. And Dajuan Harris. Kansas the rebound. For the lead. Step back with space. And a much-needed three.
Taking their time, seeing what opportunity they created.
Missing inside is Mustafa Chong. Here comes Kansas running it back the other way. To the bucket. Dajuan Harris.
When a guard changes, expand your range and go to the outside. And oh my goodness, Darius Johnson. Getting the 2 feet, going through the big's chest. He's as good as anybody in the Big 12 when it comes to playing off of 2 feet.
Dajuan Harris gets it in the paint. Way downtown. Got it. Caleb Love.
Woo. Last time he played against Kansas, John, he was in that Carolina uniform. He went 5 for 24. Hadn't been active tonight offensively.
Harris, and he gets that to go.
He's still very academic, loves to read. I asked him when he just finished. Just crime and punishment.
Oh, yeah. No, we always, Fran and I like to go Dostoevsky all the time.
Yeah. I just finished War and Peace. It took me 8.
Love.
That's a tough shot, John. That is a tough shot. I know he makes some, but man.
Feeds the post. Harris wide open and drills it. Griffin with Del Orso on him. Shot clock winding down. Dickinson misses, puts it up, won't go. Look at Harris swoop.
Passes cross court, and the 2 that have connected have been fastballs.
Coit with the takeaway. Coit gets it to Harris, who lays it in.
You see such great efficiency from 2 or from 3.
In the lane, and Dajuan Harris
Have come in this building and had substantial leads at one point in time in the game and then watched it evaporate. You have to value every single possession and execute the way that you need to.
And it crawls in for Dajuan. He still had control of it and then released it well after the contact from Federico. Kansas will take the ball. Dajuan Harris Jr. falling away, the kiss off the window.
He's going to be given that mid-range jumper. He should have the green light to take it. That got Dak always feels like he has a green light. Missed it from D. He is not gunshot.
The level of play just feels elevated here. Such attention to detail on him in the first half made life extremely difficult. But the second half, Hammond just getting loose in that offense, mostly in transition, seeing the ball go in and then finding his rhythm.
Harris turns the corner and scores.
Few of them in the transition, but they're looking to go to the basket.
And Keller misses both. Psychologically, what does this Jayhawks team look like back on their home floor after they took one on the chin in Provo on Tuesday night? Jimmy just never looked like they were engaged in that game. Harris, good-looking flow.
Drive the ball to the middle of the floor, and he has trouble getting his shot off. A terrific decision by him to release it to the perimeter.
Thompson at just over 12 points per game. Harris covering a lot of real estate, comes right down the paint, gets the friendly bounce.
To stop Thompson from going to his right, that forced him to miss that shot, but real good transition offense and follow-ups by the Oklahoma State team.
And Jimmy, we're seeing the best version. Dickinson, Aaron pass, Harris is able to track it down. We're seeing the best version of what this Oklahoma State team looks like on their best days as Harris finds the laces and buries it from deep. Last year took Western Kentucky into the dance for the first time, Jimmy, in more than a decade.
And he knows also, Spiro, today, in the second half, he needs a couple of bounces in this first 4 or 5 minutes to go his way. He'll take any luck he can get.
Wild to think this was a 21-17 Kansas lead midway through the first half. Harris left open, and he buried. This is Avery, corner three, a little bit too much, and Bedunga clears. Well, he's done a little
with the bucket. That's a careless pass by Denman again.
You just understand, you've got the game in confirmed control. You just stay with what you've done all night long.
And the scoop off the window by... Did everything but go down. Dajuan Harris is going to shoot the three, and that one's good.
Well, Kansas needs to settle down. They're 1 of 4 shooting. 3 of their first 4 shots have come from beyond the arc. That's not the strength of this KU team.
Griffin out and Dickinson out. Dajuan Harris has
been accepting of contact to get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
They took a lot of three-pointers last time out at Cincinnati.
Caleb Lohner in the game and a nice attack. Dajuan Harris. And Lovering had the ball go right through his hands. It went to Asar, who had his shot blocked by Dickinson. Harris one-on-one. Harris is going to go right by and score. Nice move. Faces, spins middle, kicked it. Willeen had to rush it and missed the shot. Here comes Harris out in the open. Gets it back. Open three. Good.
That's his second Cooper flag and his impact at Duke this year. Janai Broome, a guy that's been around for a while. For Auburn and how well he played, in particular today at Alabama.
Hunter Dickinson in this game for Kansas. But you're right. I mean, the star power of Magic against Bird on this.
Colorado with its 12th different starting lineup of the year. They get an open three from Andre Yakimovsky, who misses. Julian Hammond's their leading scorer. Javon Ruffin and the talented young front court of Sebastian Rodchik and Bangat Dak. Super experienced starters for Kansas. Here's Harris in the lane, and the friendly bounce goes. Rebounds it. Ruffin thinks about another, steps in with 2, can't play the angle.
A little too far out to bank that shot, in my opinion. That's a lot of mustard on that.
Bit of a scoring drought for KU. Harris will end it.
You know what he drew? Passmore. Freshman, yeah.
But it's in the game.
He didn't even hesitate. He's actually going to be a good player.
Been a little banged up of late. Passmore is out there finding Harris, who finds himself.
And I just didn't remember.
Won't be the first time, I'm sure. No, Dickinson misses. Tapped out to Harris for a fresh 20. 6-point game after Rodchik completed the 3-point play.
They're looking to try to seal Hunter, but he gave up. He was trying to post, he gave up.
Harris around Dickinson, who just put a little bit of space.
That was heat check. As much as he's done today, Give him a little free rein right there.
Harris, his first bucket. Puts him to sleep with the three. And Doug McDaniel Steph Curry'd him and walked away knowing he was going to hit that one.
Ranked player and player of the year. And there are some people that don't think he's having a great year. I think he's having a spectacular year.
Adams
Look at this
speeds inside. The double team comes.
Look at that.
Great ball movement. Harris gets a piece of the paint. And that floater will go. We've seen when Iowa State's offense has been good this year, it really has started at the defensive end.
Yeah, it has. And they also, to Chris's point and Otz's point, you got to drive those closeouts. That's
feed
great.
inside. Harris off the feed and bumped off. Gilbert up ahead. Dickinson rebounds the miss. Back and forth we go. Harris, ball fake, left hand is good.
Well, you see it a lot with the Cubs, but sometimes you're a home run hitter, you stretch out a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Harris rattles that one home.
I can see that. Excuse me, Adams coming back without Harris. When you talk to the Kansas players, it didn't matter what KJ's stats were Tuesday night. He's a security blanket out there for the rest of these Jayhawks.
Harris hesitates, gets at the basket and finger rolls it in.
Next season, he's going to be an absolute star.
Right, can't hit. Rebound Mayo. Yeah, things like feel, it seems like are improving as his experience does. Before Bidunga didn't start playing basketball until he was 14, moved to the U.S. when he was 15. Harris flips it up and in. Dajuan Harris with the bucket. Spin move right, up and under, and it wouldn't fall. Under 11 and a half to go. Harris at the basket and one. Dajuan Harris.
Sophomore at Newman Goretti in Philadelphia.
And again, getting the opportunity to be in that lineup with Roach sitting with the concussion. Unimpeded. That's two last 8. Here's Rylan Griffin, the Alabama transfer. Store. Can't hit. And Dajuan Harris picks up the rebound. Harris able to bury it from 3.
All transfers.
Well, in a game like this sets itself apart. It's obvious what the stakes are. But it's hard, I think, at times to make some of the new guys understand how every time you're on the road, you're just getting the other team's best shot of the year. It's like their Super Bowl.
And I'd say they get your best shot in here too, John.
Fair enough.
Talk about Dickinson and Bidunga. Oh, nice steal.
Harris, left hand, score it. I mean, everywhere. Houston, crazy.
But your friend in Tallahassee is used to snow because he used to manage the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Prince, goodness. Every night, a difficult evening. Griffin on the floor now, his shooter.
They tell us Houston trailing UCF in the second half on CBS Sports Network. Inbound. Harris.
Dickinson tells everybody where to go.
Dajuan's going to try a 3 and got it.
It's amazing.
Out of the Kansas State lineup, we're going to have to look at where they're going to get points from, too.
Now watch this little screen and then a dribble handoff and a turn.
And Harris with a scoop off the window.
You got to be ready, you know.
McDaniel double team. Hawkins has an open 3. Just can't find it. Bidunga with a rebound.
Dickinson goes right to the box, locks his guy. They got the high-low. See, that's where Adams would have found him.
Harris off the window on the drive.
His read and screen, rescreen.
Mayo the kick over to Harris. Got his man in the air and now drives and lays it in.
Fumbled it a little bit.
Dajuan Harris on the dribble. And he's going to go up with it himself and got it.
Did you see the ball fake?
That he has developed, it's evident when you talk to him. It's evident when you watch them practice that he's got a really good thing going here.
He is a leader.
Yeah.
And what a tremendous demeanor he has. Rarely says a word to an official because...
Harris. Mayo in the corner. Misses the three. Tipped out by Adams. And Harris knocks down a three.
You bring it down, he'll take it from you.
1 of 2. Rebound Griffin. Store into the chest of Jackson. That's not going to work. Finds Harris, who floats it up and in.
Boy, really good cut.
More points from that aggressive defense for the Bearcats. They're out in the passing lanes. Dajuan Harris Jr. banks in a three. And Rox, you mentioned earlier about the depth of this Kansas team. You've got a healthy Collins now. Looks like they've got a little more juice in their tank right now than Cincinnati.
Floater at the elbow. And the run is sitting because of a bad ankle. So they will probably only play about 7. So they come into Allen Fieldhouse undermanned. Kick to Harris. And the three will go. Only 17 to 7'3" wingspan and the motor.
I asked him earlier today, because he's a voracious reader, what book are you reading? And the young man said to me, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. I said, what's going on right now? 17 years old, I am blown away by his maturity and his attention to detail.
Harris gets into the
court defensively. Once again, Hunter Dickinson is catching the ball on the perimeter a ton.
Mayo. Harris the ball fake. Floater. That'll go.
And limiting his scoring.
And no fouls. That's been the issue. Averaging more than 6 fouls per 40 minutes played. If you're going to keep him out there, he's got to prove that he can stay on the court. Great move by Dajuan Harris. CF team. It was really just this guy, Johnson and Sellers, who returned from that team that upset the Jayhawks here last season. The push to Harris, and he's got his second bucket for a win. Sellers with the miss. Mayo to Harris. Harris got it back and puts it in. Can hang with anybody, but Hall gets just enough. And maybe a little extension with that elbow. Keyshawn Hall will take it.
Tough shot maker right there. Keyshawn Hall getting to his spot, rising up over the top. They need a lot more of that.
And there will be more, because as we talked before tip, he's legit. He's going to be a dude in the Big 12. Kansas patient. 3 on the shot clock. Mayo, the late kick. Harris for 3 and got it. Harris wants another one. Wide right. Adams trying to keep it alive. Harris, don't quit. He gets it back and puts it in.
Obviously, Hall of Famer, 22nd season here in Lawrence. A couple of national titles. Come in ranked 7th. They came into Morgantown last year ranked 3rd and got knocked off by the Mountaineers. Out of the timeout, Harris off the glass. Committed 2 personal fouls in the game, 1 in each half.
West Virginia basically has Harris Alonzowicz as their backup postman, and that is all.
Harris 3. 8th made 3 of the season.
Big bucket. Again, O'Connor, when he plays well, Mountaineers win.
Shot clock is off. 25 seconds to go in the first half.
After giving up 5 triples, Kansas has done a much better job here in the second part of the first half. I'm going ball screen right here.
Looking for their first double-digit lead of the afternoon.
Harris trying to get to the paint.
Here's Harris with 5 on the clock. And Dajuan Harris.
Have to have a higher pickup point on Breon Pass. He's shooting 47% from 3. If you watch film, you know he loves those race-in transition three-point looks.
Senior out of Reidsville, North Carolina. There's a 3 into the game with Dickinson picking up 2 fouls. Coit launches again. That was halfway down. There's Clemens picking it up. Coit, great kick. That's a 3. Give Coit a big... And I should say Breon pass. Passmore's for Kansas. Good hedge there by Middlebrooks, and quickly back to deal with Adams. That time he didn't miss it. Determined to get the show for it. O'Connell hard to the basket, too strong. Dickinson and Harris will push the other way. He goes at Middlebrooks, up and in, and there is points 9 points in the second half. How about the hang and the hit there? Hill with a terrific effort.
Very unusual for Kansas to give up offensive rebounds. One of the best in the country at taking those away.
Both teams with a half a dozen of those. Down low, that's really deep, and they will instead bring it back out. Mayo, great pass. 1 extra. Harris, boy, Dickinson's made some.
That was one of the greatest runs we've seen in college basketball, maybe since back with Kemba Walker in UConn.
Yes.
And they had to win 5 straight games in that ACC tournament just to get in the NCAA.
Pretty play. Harris hanging and hitting.
When it left his hand, it was going in. It's been that kind of day. Can't say enough about that sophomore.
Tigers have hit 3 threes in the first half. They've hit 3 the entire game against Cal. Harris
didn't save a lot, but I understand it.
Jayhawks restart their offense. Now at 8. Harris behind Dickinson. Uses them again. Downhill with 4. All the way to the rim. 2 different Tigers on the floor. That's how the half will come to an end. No doubt.
But they got to go to places like Iowa State in January.
Mitchell denied by Dickinson again.
Well, they definitely have to play through Hunter, but they got to get the ball to him first. And obviously the Tigers have a lot to do with that.
Harris left alone, drills the 3. His first. Downhill, Perkins, no, blow the body. This has been a series of comebacks, and Kansas trying to author a giant one. They were down 24, and now they're inching their way back in. Shots against #1 Kansas, including one at Kemper Arena in the Big 8 tournament.
Same play, let's see. Ball screen.
Harris hangs and hits, and he's fouled.
Oh, yes.
Point. 3 won't go. Good rebound by KJ Adams. Open 3 for Harris, and that'll quiet the crowd. 6 trying to turn the corner, finds McAndrew for an open 3. Got a good look there.
He had a good look, but it was that deep dribble penetration that sunk the Kansas defense that got that shot. So although you didn't make it, it was really good secondary break offense.
And there's Harris starting
to where you needed to be.
Harris challenging Kalkbrenner. No, Bidunga playing with 2 fouls, able to get it back. Second chance, Mayo. Open is Harris. That 3 will fall. No.
A lot of open 3s, and then offensively, Creighton's playing off certain players. They got to learn how to attack if they have some space offensively with how Creighton's guarding them.
Touch pass into the corner. Dajuan Harris will try the 3, and he hits. And a turnover for the Blue Jays. Adams on the run. Working it over to Harris with the reverse. And Ashworth, the skip intercepted by Harris. And Dajuan Harris challenged at the rim by Miller, but he gets it to...
Which isn't easy. That's an open 3. Jayhawks are fortunate here because those have been open looks, Nick.
A good point.
KJ. Dajuan floats it up from the free throw line. He loves that spot. Jams it.
Got to be a little bit better sense of urgency from Dickinson sprinting back, but you got to contain the ball first. It's a good play, though, from P.J. Smith.
6 points for Cooper Bowser. He's coming off a Career high in Vegas on Tuesday night. 17 against Seattle. Harris, tough shot. Kisses that in off the glass. Long enough to get it over the front rim. Harris, floater, baseline, switch.
Is he going to be good here for Kansas? He's off to a great start. You can tell he's just scratching the surface too.
I thought initially that Juan was throwing one of those three.
And Ravi, he's not had a breakout game just yet.
Flag lost the ball. He dribbled into traffic. The run out, 2-on-1. Bounce back, contested, and up and in.
In the mid-range. Now, I'm nitpicking, but I'd love to see him go to the rim with more force on some of those drives.
We'll see if that happens within this game. It did in that Arizona game. Going to the hoop. Harris, he got banged. He did not get the foul. Yes, he does. And up and over, we're tied.
And that started with Brown. What can he do for you?
The flag is like a free safety, too. He also impacted that play, coming over and knocking it away a little bit from Dickinson. Harris behind the screen of Dickinson. That's a silencer. Three ball, step in, no. Griffin, former Crimson Tide player. Aggressive, and they'll pull it back out. Nice play, yeah, he read that.
Yep.
Here's bad pass, here's a steal, here's Harris. Two chasers, up and in. A 9-0.
Nipple to the top. Here comes Flag.
That time he is left alone. The three too strong. Proctor had it. It's loose, and they got a 3-on-1. Up and in. Pretty play by Harris.
Nowhere to go for Harris. Coit will try one. Dunga way up for the rebound. Love his activity and energy. Harris, step back three, and it goes. That's how Newbie wants to play. Just ball screen, get in the lane, make something happen. And McGriff having a heck of a first half. Harris straight on three. Couple triples, and that's what you and I were talking. My biggest bit of advice to Takeo Siddle right now would be, if you feel a run coming, you call a timeout. No sense in saving timeouts here, because there are some second half runs that have led to that great record that we just illustrated.
And Dajuan Harris open, or you let Harris make plays and Dickinson post up.
Pick and roll with Harris and Dickinson. Dajuan all the way to the bucket. Nifty finger roll. Biggest lead right now at 13. Ross, baseline. UNCW can't buy a bucket this half.
Great closeout from Mayo.
Harris, bucket and one. Trying to create something. Able to find Dickinson. That slipped out of Hunter's hand. 4 to shoot. Harris checks it, floats it, got it. 6 inches, 239 pounds. Senior from Sydney, Australia. You said they were grown men. These guys have been in the weight room too.
Yeah, they certainly have, and you know, while it may not be affecting the Kansas Jayhawks much right now, you see why they
and good. Good footwork to get around the defender and put that up with the right hand. Second bucket of the night for Shimon Zapawa. The answer. Extra pass. Open man. Fiddler leaves it short, gets it back, and then turns it over. Harris takes the bump and finishing. Possession, basically.
The media timeout would not have saved them from having to get it across with 1 second, but their own timeout does.
Match next year at the Dean Dome. Harris off to Adams, in and out. Harris the floater. Nobody really challenged him right now for Carolina. Jackson and Powell, and a strip there by Harris. Wow!
Just nailed a three, gave a little shot fake, and blew by Hunter Dickinson.
Withers into double figures with 11. He's been a big, big part of this comeback. What is the Kansas response?
Well, you certainly can't pick up your dribble. Kansas has to move it more from side to side.
Harris the floater.
KU. Davis loses the services of Lubin for the rest of the night. Jalen Washington has returned. Harris off the glass and good.
One-on-one with Dickinson. Fading. Harris off to the races. Hesitation down the lane. Dajuan Harris with the finish. The score. Shot clock under 5. Gill trying to create. Adams got a piece of it. Jayhawks run again. Harris off the long pass. Lays it in. Game at Arkansas a couple weeks ago. 26 points. He is capable as well.
Yeah, he got it going. And there's that peskiness that Diggy Coit showed right there that led to another